Welcome to Indian Movie Recaps. Today I will show you a thriller crime film released in 2015 called Drishyam. Spoilers ahead, watch out and take care. The film starts with a man looking for a Pondolam police station. He enters a cafe and asks the vendor, who shows him the directions to get there. The man enters the police station, where he introduces himself as the new police officer who's been transferred there. It's here that he meets our protagonist, Mr. Vijay Salgaonkar, who has supposedly done something unbelievable. Cut to Vijay's cable TV operating office, where he's watching a film and his assistant asks him about his collection and work. Vijay goes to the same cafe we talked about at the start to eat, where the owner introduces him to two people who are waiting for Sub-Inspector Gaitonde, who has imprisoned their only son. Apparently, the guy had taken a loan from a private company and would fill in all the installments in a timely manner, but wasn't able to pay the final installment. The parents complained to Vijay that Gaitonde came and took their son away, and they are now asking for the final installment with interest since the company is of Gaitonde's brother. Gaitonde also threatens them to not complain to anyone. It seems Gaitonde is a corrupt cop and will be a main part as the film unravels. Vijay recommends them to file a case, to which the cafe owner says it's futile to do so since it's a police officer and not the company that has imprisoned the couple's son. Vijay then recollects a scene from the film he once saw and talks about habeas corpus, according to which police cannot illegally detain someone. He also gives the couple his lawyer friend's number. Gaitonde arrives and asks Martine, the cafe owner for the old couple, to which he says he does not know. The film cuts to Vijay watching a film where he gets interrupted by a work call and then goes home by dawn. He greets his daughter Anju, who is studying, and romantically greets his wife, Nandini. The family then sit down for breakfast, where we also meet his second and youngest daughter, Anu. Nandini asks him why he doesn't buy a mobile or take care of the family, as there are three women all alone in the house. Nandini later says she wants to shop and watch a film and go to Panaji. The plan is made and everyone is happy. On their trip, Anju tells them about a nature camp where children from every part of Goa are going to come, where she has been selected from their part of Goa. Nandini says she is against the trip, but Vijay is of a different opinion, but agrees with Nandini when he gets to know that it is expensive. Anju pleads with Vijay, and he eventually agrees. The next scene is of Anju at the camp, where she encounters a weird guy, Sam, who keeps taking pictures of girls. There is also a scene where later on, Vijay and his entire family go to Nandini's home, where her brother is introduced as a social worker. Her parents then ask Vijay to put his kids in a better school. Vijay asks if it's his wife who's behind all this, to which they agree. He says one who has to study can study anywhere. Later, at Pinto's cafe, he meets contractor Rane, who works for the police station. Constable Gaitonde questions Pinto whether he's been lying to him. He also asks Vijay. Later on, the three have an argument over unpaid dues. Here, Vijay also meets Mr. Sawant, who is another police officer. Vijay is then seen digging a hole for making fertilizer. Here, his daughter enters and tells him and his wife about the school incident where a boy was taking her pictures. Nandini asks why she didn't complain, to which she says some advocate's daughter yelled at him and he stopped. Later, Gaitonde and Rane have an argument over money because Rane apparently complained about him to Inspector Prabhu, in which Vijay also gets involved. Gaitonde tells Vijay that he will settle their dues later, to which Vijay says every dog has its day. Vijay decides to go home early to spend some time with his wife. Anju then meets Sam, who has apparently taken her video while she was changing clothes. In order to delete it, he blackmails her and demands to meet him behind her house at 11 p.m. Anju is extremely scared and tells Nandini. Nandini later meets Sam behind their house and requests him to delete the video. Things get heated, and both Nandini and Anju try to snatch Sam's phone, but he shoves them away. He then casts an eye on Nandini instead. Anju, without thinking, picks up a pole and hits Sam on the head while furiously destroying the phone. Both quickly realize Sam has been hit hard and is dead. Nandini tries calling Vijay, but he's busy watching a film and ignores the call. They then put his body in a rucksack and bury him in the same hole Vijay dug. Vijay comes home and finds out about what happened. He gets everyone to tell him their exact movements since the start of the incident and devises a plan. Later, Vijay and the family cleans the entire house. He finds a SIM and gets a sudden flashback to a scene from a movie where they use the phone to track the victim's whereabouts. He keeps the SIM to himself and asks his family to not go anywhere until he returns. Anju cries about not wanting to go to jail and that all she wanted to do was break the phone. Vijay reassures her He'll never let her go to jail. Vijay goes to find Sam's car. He finds it, but the alarm buzzes, and Inspector Gaitan sees him. He then drives to Panaji, goes to a shop, buys a spare phone, puts Sam's SIM card into it, and puts the phone on silent. He cleans the phone with alcohol and parks next to a truck. While no one is looking, he throws the phone into that truck. After that, he needs to find a way to get rid of the car. He takes the car through some mountains and near a lake. He pushes the car into the lake. As the car is sinking, Vijay is shocked to see a laborer who is starting his day. The car is sinking, but Vijay is tense. The laborer might see what's happening here, and the whole plan will be over. Just in the last second, the car ends up sinking completely, and Vijay is safe. He goes to his cable shop and tells his assistant he is going to a religious gathering with his wife and won't be back until 2 days. Then Nandini reveals that Sam was the son of Goa's Inspector General. Vijay tells his family to pretend like nothing happened. We are also introduced to Sam's mom, Inspector Meera, who is at a very high position in Goan police and is a ruthless officer. Sam doesn't come home for a day, so his father is worried and tells Meera. She calls him, but his phone is switched off. Vijay and his family go to a religious meeting in Panaji, but it's already over. Sam's phone is traced somewhere in Kanchipuram, and Meera starts to get suspicious as to something fishy going on. Later, some locals find the car which was retrieved from the lake. Inspector Meera finds out and asks her subordinates to not let the media know. Information is retrieved from Sam's phone, and Meera asks to find out who he spoke to last. Later, it is found out that 20,000 rupees were withdrawn from his account, and his phone was switched on and off twice, with the SIM card being put into another phone. Gaitan is then informed about this case, who then goes to meet Vijay. Gaitan then reaches Pinto's cafe, where Vijay is sitting there reading the newspaper. Gaitan informs them that a yellow Honda has been found from a stone quarry, and another police officer is handling the case. He looks over to see if Vijay reacts, which he does. Gaitan now believes there is a connection between Vijay and this case. He says the case is a big one. Gaitan then informs Sawant that he has seen Vijay drive a Hyundai Getz, but Sawant doesn't listen. Gaitan has had issues with Vijay in the past and is on a mission to convict him. Gaitan then officially informs his senior that he had seen Vijay drive away in the yellow car. Meanwhile, Vijay makes his entire family rehearse their lies and their fake whereabouts on how on the 2nd they went to Chinmayananda's ceremony in Panaji. Although the dates were not the 2nd, the whole family had to convince themselves and others they were out during the time Sam went missing. Vijay tells them there are no clues that give away Sam's death and that nothing will happen to them. Nandini, Vijay's wife, then tells him that maybe someone might have seen him that fateful day, but Vijay says they only have 2 options now, to fight or to give in. He also tells him that he will see to it that the 3 of them don't end up in jail. The police go to the place where the yellow car was seen. The people who Gaitan had taken money from speak against him and say they are not sure if it was Vijay who was in the car. Later, it is also found out that Anju, Vijay's eldest daughter, was on a nature camp with Sam and that she is adopted and not his real child. Anju is later questioned by the police and successfully tricks them. The police later arrive at Vijay's house and show him Sam and the yellow car's image, to which he says he has no clue about this. His wife also gets nervous and blurts out that they weren't there in Panaji on 2nd and 3rd, to which the policemen raise their doubt, but Vijay covers up and tells them that she is scared because she knows that Anju was questioned by the police before. He again tells the police that Gaitan is lying because both of them have bad blood between each other. He ends up giving a detailed explanation of what he did that weekend. The inspectors go and inform Inspector Meera about what they found out. They say that there's bus tickets and hotel bills with the right dates on them, but they don't know if they've been forged. Inspector Meera asks the police to bring Vijay and his family to her. Meera says Vijay is just a 4th grade dropout. He's surely not this smart to pull off a big plan like this. Vijay and his wife are both grilled by the police. Even their daughters are questioned by the police. Even though the inspectors get suspicious, the family pulls through and doesn't leak any clues, sticking to their plan. The police are shocked by the family's firm statement. They realize that the youngest is sticking to the story a little too perfectly. The cafe owner and his office assistant are called by the police to question. They also confirm the story that Vijay had gone to Panaji on the 2nd. They recount that Vijay told them about the day and the sermon all in detail. After they also interview the hotel manager and restaurant owner that also recount Vijay was there. The inspectors start to feel Vijay was genuinely there and they're chasing the wrong lead. Inspector Meera feels something is still fishy and that she can tell everyone is lying. She also says she underestimated Vijay, thinking he's just a regular dropout. They then interview the bus conductor, who says that he met Vijay on the 2nd, but lets it slip that he met him again later. It's shown that Vijay and his family went to meet him a second time and made a fake conversation on how they met him during the trip and emphasized the trip was made on the 2nd. Vijay and the family have been going around convincing everyone they came in contact with that the date they traveled was the 2nd and 3rd. These people weren't lying. They genuinely believed Vijay and his family traveled on that date. Meera gets suspicious and finally starts to realize what's happening. She goes back and interviews all the same people, once again getting the truth out of them. They later find the CCTV footage on the 3rd from Panaji. There, they see Vijay come and withdraw money. They all feel they've been wasting time chasing this dead lead. Meera is still suspicious and starts piecing it all together. That Vijay made this whole thing up and that they wanted the police to see everything they've seen so far. They realize that Vijay and family really did go to Panaji, have yummy food, and watch the sermon. That's why they were able to stick to their testimony. But it was all done on a different day, not the 2nd and 3rd. Meera decides to get it out of them by force and suddenly arrests the whole family. They bring them all in front of the police officers and Meera tells Vijay the plan is over. The inspector goes around to each family and intimidates everyone. She calls Gaitand and gets him to start hitting Vijay. The whole family watches this and start to get scared and worried. Vijay continues to take the beating, but doesn't say anything. Nandini and Anju beg for them to leave him alone, but Meera tells Gaitande to stop and starts getting aggressive with other officers. They start hitting the rest of the family. Just then, they receive word that Alex, Sam's friend, has been found and is here. They ask Alex if they know Anju. Alex says he doesn't, but after more interrogation reveals that Sam is a pervert and took a video of Anju while she was changing. Meera listens to this and realizes her son is a bad person. Meera goes back to the family and tells Gaitande to do whatever it takes to get it out of this family. Nandini starts to bleed after getting hit so much, and Gaitande's eyes turn to the youngest daughter, Anu. They decide to isolate Anu and scare her more. Gaitande gets in her face and says he will get angry if she doesn't say the truth. After hitting her, she suddenly gives in and tells them the truth. They take her and the family to where Vijay buried the body. They start digging up the dirt while the townspeople have gathered, along with the media, to watch if the police have done the right thing or just beaten up an innocent family. Everyone is tense as this is the climax of the film. Meera and her husband are tense as this could be their son. They start to smell something bad and finally find a body bag. But to everyone's surprise, Sam's body is not found, and it's a dead dog skeleton instead. Vijay goes and tells the people and media that Gaitand hit a child and that they are completely innocent. Gaitand starts to get angry, but the crowd loses control and starts hitting him for beating up a child. The police take Meera and her husband away, while Vijay watches the townspeople beat up Gaitand. The media reports that the police were in the wrong, and the whole country is angry and on Vijay's side. Gaitand is suspended, and Meera is given indefinite leave. As time goes by, Vijay is seen sitting with his family again, and things seem back to normal. Inspector Meera and her husband are still suspicious, and know Vijay is hiding something. Vijay agrees to meet them by the ocean to talk to them openly. He knows what it's like to be a parent. He tells them the truth in a metaphorical way. He tells them a story in which an unwanted stranger enters a house and behaves dangerously only to be dealt with in a way any family would. Vijay is free because there is still no evidence against him. Later in the movie, it's revealed that he buried the body at the site, under the cement, where the new police station was to be made. That's the end of the movie. Make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications to watch more recaps. Thanks for watching and take care.